things that feel like a big deal now usually end up being so fucking minuscule once you figure them out. And the more that I grow, the more that the business grows, the more you realize how your big problems a few years ago are the easiest solutions humanly possible now. It's just every single time that I level up in business, let's say, every little step ladder, you just have a new set of problems at each step ladder. And so that would be like zero to making your first dollar online. Mine was like $0 to $2,000 per month when I was 17 or 18 years old. I think I was 17. 2 to 3 months later, I went from $2,000 to $4,000 per month, and I maintained $4,000 per month for like 8 months. I was just in the learning phase. It took me probably 8 months before I went from making $0 online to making $2,000 online. 2 months later, I doubled my income, and I was making $4,000 when I was 18 years old, which is an incredible wage, and I was spending all of it because I was looking to further my education and looking to get better. My goal was my understanding of the world, which is still true because I was reading so many books on capitalism, of all these other things, that the more value I can provide to the world, the more I'll be able to get paid. If I could go into a business and generate them $1 million per month, I could charge $700,000 per month to do that. So it was always just a lack of my understanding of the world, of my skill set, to make more money. I was investing all my money to further my skill set, as well as when you're 18 years old, you don't really know anything. When it is your first few years in business, you just don't know anything. I didn't know anything about the world. I wasn't even really looking to make more money. I was looking to further my education and realize that people are literally paying to go to college. I am paying to apprentice myself, or I'm getting paid to apprentice myself under someone where I get to learn more than anything humanly fathomable. And so my problems then were just learning. I needed to absorb, consume, understand, and implement as much information as I possibly could. So I ended up taking on like 6 clients for free once I had that base level of my expenses down. And then a few months after that, I went from making $4,000 a month, jumped up to $10,000, and then straight jumped up to like $25,000 per month in revenue. I had a bunch of clients. All I was doing was providing one service to a multitude of people because I was just networking. I met a bunch of people, and once I had the business, boom, it was plug and play. That business utterly failed because I didn't realize how little value I was actually providing. I didn't know what I didn't know. I thought that business was as easy as provide a service, get paid moolah, and then boom, you're successful. This lasted like 5-6 months of me making this much money in revenue. My profit was actually $1,000 to $2,000 per month. So my profit actually went down, making $4,000 a month to making $25,000 a month, but my take home was only $2,000 a month. Is that a good business model? No, that's the worst business model if your goal is to make as much money as possible. Mine was to learn as much, and I did. I learned a lot, and then I was back at $4,000 a month for a while. At the same time, I was just leveling up my skill sets. I was able to provide more value. I was doing consulting for free. No one values free, but a lot of people were just asking for my help, and I was providing it, and I was actually giving really good results. So then what I did, I took on a client where it was 100% performance model. This client, I said, hey, whatever your base level, what you're making, we'll just call it $100,000 per month in his business. How about I only get paid if we do over that? How about I get 20% of anything over what you're currently doing in the department that I'm in? And so we're just using those numbers. They're actually quasi-accurate. Within 2 months of working with him, I had this big launch. I ended up having a $25,000 a month. I went from making $4,000 a month to doing my first $25,000 a month. That was because we did a big product launch that I kind of built out for him. I got 20% of it. I wasn't really on top of the world. I'd spent so much time learning all these things, to developing my skill sets. I was confident. I was actually disappointed that we didn't do more. I thought we were going to like quadruple what we actually did. And that was because I didn't know what I didn't know. There was a lot of things that I did morbidly wrong where we could have actually done quadruple the profit of what we did do for our product launch. I didn't know what I didn't know. Then fast forward for a long period of time after that, for maybe 6 months, maybe not 6 months, I was making like $10,000 per month in take home. I had no expenses. I was still spending a lot of my money developing more skills, trying to get better at what I was doing. You just continuously, every time you have a step up, there's a new variety of problems that you have. You start to hire independent contractors. You start to do other things. You realize that you have to start to manage people. You realize you're missing a lot of things that you just don't know you don't know. There's so many different components of business and so many skills that you acquire over time. You just kind of have to learn. So then I took on another client after that. And this client, I said the exact same thing. You are only going to pay me. I can do over what you're currently doing for his baseline for the little sector that I was doing. This was the first client that I had that had a company that was doing a ton of revenue. So this company does like $100 million plus per year in revenue every single year. And I was just working in one component of that business, but I still had the 2 other jobs. So I was still making good money. So I actually ended up moving from where I was to this guy. And throughout this time, I was traveling pretty much every single month with my other client. I was always just taking up opportunities. I was always meeting new people. I was always getting so much experience with my network. I had time on my side. So I would help every single person I could whenever the chance arose, because I always had spare time and I wanted to use that time to develop my skill set and provide as much value. Because when you're 20 years old, you don't provide that much value. So any small amount of value you can provide, fucking do it. If the marketplace shows you that you are deserving of making more money, people will be begging to work with you, which is where I'm at now. I'm gonna get full circle here, just going through the progressions. So then with this client, I ended up fucking crushing it for him. I still actually work with all the people. I've never lost a client. I just continuously take on more clients. I was now on my third client for what I'm doing. I do really, really, really well for this person. And all of his friends were large business owners. So then he was telling all of his friends, and all his friends were like, hey dude, I need you to do this for me. You can only do free work for so long before you're like, okay, well, I have all these people, I don't have capacity, so I'm gonna have to charge you. And so then it was charging people to do this, and I started to make a lot more money. And then I started to say, fuck, I need to turn this into a business. So now I need to start to hire people. And then once you start to hire people, you realize that comes with a new set of problems. When you're doing everything on your own, you just have a high paying job. When you start to hire people, you realize that most people are not going to be like you. They're not going to want to work all hours of the day. People say they're going to do something and it does not get done. All of these things that come in with experience in running a business. And then you're just taking a step up. And I fucking had to go the slow way. I definitely could have done this substantially faster, but I didn't know what I didn't know. So that's why I didn't. And so now, fast forward probably another year and a half after that, we almost have a business. You go from having a high paying job to there's almost a business. In a business, you are going to have all the systems in place where it's more of a plug and play type of thing. If I were to take on a new client, what does the onboarding process look like? What are the processes? Who do I need to hire? What teams need to be in place? What SOP do you have to build out if you're going to hire someone new for what they're going to do? There's all these things that every single business does that you don't know when you don't have a business, but you kind of just have to learn trial and error as well as using the resources that you have. I have so many resources of hyper successful people that are in my network because I have a business where I help a lot of large businesses do all of their organic social media, help them build their back end funnels so we can convert all those viewers that we're getting into customers, build them out additional revenue streams. And that is going unbelievably well. There's a ton of demand for what we're doing. There's a mixture of taking on more clients and then hiring more people to fulfill the new clients that we're going to take on, and then having a performance-based model along with it. If you can actually make someone hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, you would prefer to have a performance-based model than just a flat fee. The flat fee gives you certainty of income. I would rather have 20 clients pay you $100,000 per month than have 200 clients pay you $10,000 per month, in my opinion, because I want less people to manage and less people to work with. So it always just depends upon what you want. Every single time I step up, there's this completely new set of skills that need to be learned. Right now, it's continuously hiring the right people, and how do you train the right people at scale? And then how do you build out new departments, and how do you have managers run those departments? And this is always just a new set of problems that you just didn't know. But once you get to the next level, all the other levels before you seem very, very easy. Now, if I was starting from zero, it would be very easy to go from making zero to getting my first client, providing value for that client, to starting to get more clients, to then starting to hire people to help me with those clients, to then building out teams to get more clients at scale. And so every single time you take a step up, it's just, you have to learn a new set of skills. And recently, I just took a step up and I had to learn this new set of skills. And every single time you step up, it seems like it's the fucking end of the world and everything's super challenging because it's a new set of skills that you've never done before, which sucks. So when you're starting from zero, you have no skills, which sucks. When you start to make money, the next set of problems, they're still fucking problems and they still suck. Every single time you level up, you just have a new set of problems that fucking suck. And they always seem very challenging at the time. Looking back 6 months, those problems are never that challenging. You just didn't know how to solve those problems yet. And it's always the unknown and uncertainty drives the anxiety and overwhelmness. And so I was overwhelmed for a while because I was taking a step up and there was a new set of skills that needed to get learned that I didn't yet know how to solve. I've been solving. It's way less scary. New is scary, but the problems don't fucking end. They just change. And your ability to solve problems and realize that no matter what you do, you are going to continuously run into new problems. Therefore, you have to get better at solving problems quickly and making decisions more decisively. You're gonna have infinite problems. You just gotta fucking start to solve them. The reason why that hits home so hard for me is because I tend to avoid my problems. I tend to avoid having hard conversations. I tend to avoid the things that I don't want to do, which is natural. It's easy for me to do the things I like to do that I'm good at doing. But the things that are gonna take the business to the next level and really drastically change my life are going to be doing the things that I don't want to do, which is sucks because you don't want to do them, but you need to do them. I want to continue to fucking go up this ladder and make more money and grow the business. I just have to start to be okay doing the things I don't want to do, or know knowing how to hire people or partner with people that do the things that I don't like doing and I'm not good at doing, and they like doing it. And that's why I'm considering partnering with this guy. He has businesses right now. He's selling one business for mid 8 figures. He literally just listed the company. He has another business that is pretty much hands off for him, that's doing over $750,000 per month. I know him very well, and he likes me. We have very opposite skill sets. He loves doing what I hate doing, and I am exceptional at doing what he's not good at doing. He wants to become a partner in my business to help scale. If he can do all the things that I don't like doing 100 times better, if I fill the other void, it could be a remarkable partnership. And he wants to do a performance-based equity model. And so what would that look like from this step ladder? When I keep on saying that, no matter what I do, every single time I step up, it's just a new set of problems. If you were working with someone that was 50 steps above you and they already knew how to solve those problems, you kind of flip the ladder of going uphill to more so downhill. It's just, hey, I know what we have to do. Let's just do it. Then we do the next thing. The amount of time it takes to do each thing is just substantially faster. And that's why all these people pay for mentors and pay for all these things. People need help with the things that they don't know how to do. And I know that I have a lot of help that I need. And so if I could do this and it would substantially fast track the company, what would have taken us 5 years to accomplish, we can do in a year and a half because of having a strategic partner. That's what I'm mulling over right now. Would be the right decision to do. If I could free up my time and then only focus on the things that produce the highest leverage opportunity, that would be pretty awesome. And then I would actually probably have less work on a daily basis, but I would just be working on higher leverage things. And then I would be able to come up with new ways to monetize what I'm currently doing. Shit, just stole this guy's parking spot. Oh God, I'm a terrible person. Terrible person.